Good morning. It's now about 7:30 in the morning on Sunday the 4th of May, I think it is. I'm Andy and this is my allotment. Right, been down a couple of times this week, through the week, to get bits and pieces sorted out. Got a few more things sown and it's starting to come together. Now, if you remember, this area here was a complete and utter mass of grass and weeds, like it is at the back there. This took me 3 hours to do yesterday, and because of all the slabs and everything underneath, I can't use a lawnmower on it, so I had to go at it just hardcore with just hands and knees and a knife. When I've got to the soil at the back, which is the compost pile, it's got a lot easier because stuff's just pulling out of there, to be honest, and when I dig it over I can take all the roots and the couch grass out, and all that behind it has got to go today. So, quick tour around to show you where we're up to. Swedes and Brussels sprouts. Unfortunately, the slug's got the Brussels sprouts. It looks like I've got 2 plants surviving in there at this end, near the label. There were 4 in that row, and there were 5 in this row here. And I think I've got 1 or 2 stumps which might come back. Now the Swedes, these were last year's plants that have been in the polytunnel over winter, and unfortunately you can see they're going to seed. So what I'm going to trim those off, get the flowers off them, and then leave them and see if they survive. If they don't, I've got lots more. There's some smaller ones here which are doing quite nicely, but the ones that were bigger are going to seed. So not a major problem. Nothing happening in the spinach bed, nothing happening in a comfrey onions bed, apart from the walking onions really coming on nicely. We're going to have lots and lots of onions on top of that this year. This bed is going to be cleared hopefully this weekend, as I've got some spuds to go in there. So all this lot at this end is just all weeds. At that end was the square foot gardening area, but I'm not going to use it as that anymore. Any planting I want to save, I'll transplant into my other square foot gardening. Now, potato bed number 3. This is the one that has 2 rows of Cara, 1 row of Sarpo Mira, and then a final row of pink fir apple. Now looking at it, I've got a couple of Sarpo Mira not come through. I've got 1 pink fir apple not come through there, possibly 1 Cara in the middle, but overall not bad. Now this bed is my first earlies. This is Maris Pear in here, and as you can see some of the plants are very well established and very well advanced. Others, little tiny things, like I've got on the far side over there. Don't know why that's not coming up very well, but it is. I've got some wilted leaves there. Now it was cold last night, but I don't think it was frosty, so I'm not sure what's happened there. And then potato bed number 2, which is this one. We've got the row nearest to me here is pink fir apple, and the ones behind it are red Duke of York. Again, I've got some little tiny ones. I've got one that possibly hasn't fired. I've got that from watching other people's videos. One that hasn't come up as yet, but apart from that, it's looking okay. Now, one change is this structure here. This is my new compost bin. I was very fortunate enough to be given some spare pallets from one of the plot holders, and so I've created just a simple 3-sided compost bin. At the moment, the bins I had in front, I've given one away to the plot holder because I had no need for it, and then I've got the blue one here, which basically is stacked quite nicely, so that one is going to go as well. The plan is I'm going to get a couple more pallets to stick them, well, 1 more pallet, stick it on the end, as I do have a pallet here that I've been given. Only problem is that the pallets aren't all the same size. The one in the middle is slightly smaller than the one at the back and the one on the right. But that is the compost from the 2 compost bins, which haven't really done very much, to be honest, haven't rotted very well. And all the grass and weeds I've been taking out this time. Now, lots of grass there. All this stuff in the middle here can be cut with the lawnmower when I get around to it. But this pile of nettles here, that is on my manure pile. So I've got to get in there by hand and pull those out by hand. Again, because the lawnmower won't go over it, and I'm not sure what's underneath it, so we're going to use a strimmer. So a quick spin around the rest of the plot while I get through all the long grass. The white currant's doing absolutely fantastic. Loads and loads and loads of fruit coming on those now. I can see them swelling already. And behind it is the 3-year-old purple sprouting. Now just, again, look at the state of the trunk on that. That's like a tree. But this was put in July 12. Did nothing in 12, nothing in 13, but in 14 decided to give a fantastic amount of purple sprouting. Spears, as you can see. Absolutely wonderful. Now behind this, we've got lots of red currant twigs. Lots of grass as well, ignore the grass. But all these twigs came from this one recurrent bush. When I brought it down to the plot, it was too big to fit in the back of the cart. I had to trim it. Stuck the trimmings in the ground, they've all taken. Got some of last year's leeks in here still, they need to come out fairly soon, because otherwise they'll end up going bad. And there's some garlic down there. Didn't plant garlic in here last year, planted it the year before and it didn't come up. So, quite amazed at that. Now, this is the bed I started on Good Friday, I think it was, or Easter Monday. Got 2 rows of rocket there, which are coming up nicely, and I've got 2 rows of carrots here, which aren't showing their heads as yet. But it was it's been a bit cold for carrots yet, I think. But the rocket is definitely coming up nicely, and as you can see, there's quite a few slug trails around, so the slug pellets are definitely necessary there. This bed was to become a fruit bed, although I don't want it to become that for long. Black currants at this end, again they were from twigs from last year, they're doing really well. Gooseberries in the middle, and I'm not sure what we can actually see on these, but we have little gooseberries forming. So hopefully we'll get some off those, and then some more black currants at this end. Possibly red currants, but I think the black currants, and another gooseberry. Now the grapes. Grapevine. Now this is one I thought was dead. Got through the winter and it didn't seem to do very much, but in the last week, and you can see these, we've got some buds forming, and especially up here, I'm very pleased with that. I've just got to find a permanent home for it. The raspberry bed is very overgrown. I need to get in there, I need to get it all trimmed back and all the weeds taken out of it. Onions and shallots doing well. I say I've got some Japanese onions at this end, then shallots in the middle, and white snowball onions at that end. They all seem to be fine. There's a couple of stunty ones, but they were stunty before they were put in, to be honest. So we'll see how that. Rhubarb. Now, I need to ask some advice from the watchers on this. So, as you can see, on this particular one here, the rhubarb leaves are being decimated. I think I've found the culprit. There's a big slug on there eating away. Now, I don't think slugs ate rhubarb, but there's slugs there, and I can see a big slug down there eating away at it. Right, so I don't know what to do. I'm going to come back later with a pair of snips, and they're going to be gone. Surprised at that. I didn't think slugs ate rhubarb. And there's a big slug on there as well. That's the advantage of coming down early in the morning. You get to see all these things. In fact, I just walked into the polytunnel before I found the slug eating my courgettes. Great big thing. Now he's dead already. So I'll just show you what I've got in the polytunnel. I've got some old garlic there, so it was very old when I found it. Stuck it in, and I'm hoping it might grow. Nothing as yet. Now, this is where I found the slug at this end. He's basically eating away the leaves on that and that one, so I think I've lost my courgettes there. Tomatoes next to it, then some lettuce, then some chicory. Now in this one here, I've got a couple of things coming up. Sorry, I dropped the camera there. And I've not labelled these up yet because I didn't have the labels with me and I haven't done it since. But I've got a row of something very nice there, and a row of something very nice there. The rest haven't come up. Parsnips in the pots. I have got a single parsnip, which is just there. At least I'm hoping that's just a single parsnip and the rest haven't been got by slugs. I mean, I found the one on there, it must have been about 2-3 inches long. Huge thing. And then in there, I've got beans, which no sign of any beans as yet. I've also got some chitting potatoes, which I really need to get in because they're well chitted. But to say that's because I've got to clear the bed first over there, up behind the car. But there's a lot of work to do still. Slowly going there. Strawberries. Put some matting then. I was going to make this an asparagus bed, and then I totally forgot what I was going to do and put my strawberries back into it. As you can see, I've got flowers on some of the strawberries. That one especially there, which is doing really well in the bucket at the back. The rest of these have got little flowers on some of them, and others have got flowers coming. In the strawberry bed itself, far too many strawberries in here still, I'm sure. But again, we've got white flowers. It's lovely to see the white flowers. I really do like strawberries, so I'm hoping that'll be fine. Anyway, that's enough of me prattling on. I might come back and do an update if I get a chance, although I think it's probably unlikely. We've got a committee meeting on the allotment at 10 o'clock. So that's what I'm down here quite early for. And then I'm going away for one night tonight as well, so I'm probably only going to be here till midday or just after. Not that long to go, I've got 5 hours including a meeting. So I'm hoping to get rid of the rest of this grass on here, or the majority of it, all the way up to the iris if I can do. That'd be great if I can do that. It'd look a lot better at this end as well if I can get rid of all that. Then I'll start on the bed over there with the hoops on it, because that's where the potatoes need to go, and that's my next thing that needs to go in. So I'll leave you to it. I'll go and get my snips and kill some slugs. Bye for now. Right folks, another little quick update. It's now about 12:30 on the Sunday. Committee meeting's finished. That took a couple of hours, and so altogether I've had about 2.5 hours on the plot today. I've taken all the flowers off the swede. I mean, hopefully now that will stop them from bolting even further. I've got more hope for the smaller plants, to be honest, but we'll see. They're only £1.50 for all these plants anyway, so I'm not too bothered about that. So flowers are off there, and I have a manure pile again, not just a weed pile. Now, it's not the perfect way of doing it, but it's worked. Majority of the grass is gone, or been trimmed right back or cut back. So this has been done with just pulling it out and with a knife, because the lawnmower I was going to borrow, I've found out it isn't working at the moment. There's still loads of grass left there and down this edge, which I was hoping to use the lawnmower on, but not at the moment. There's loads of grass in that bed and there, and the bed I was going to put the potatoes in still not been touched. Not had time, that's all. Lots of grass everywhere else, but at the end of the day I've done a lot. I'm absolutely knackered. I'll just show you my composting bin, which is now absolutely heaving full, and you can see it over there from this distance. That's just what's come from 2 compost bins I had, which I've put in there. They were full before, and then all the rest of that has come from that one pile where I've just shown you. So I just show you how much grass I've managed to take off the thing, which is a lot. And I've got this other compost pile there, that manure pile, for the same thing. Well, the nettles in, that's on top of a big pile of manure. So I'm going to do the same thing there again. Get in there, cut it all down, dig it all out, clear it all up. The nettles I'm going to stick in a bucket to use them to make nettle tea. And put the rest of it over there, which hopefully by next week will have dropped a foot or so. When it all starts to compact down, we get a bit of rain on it and it starts to decompose. We'll see. Not a lot else happening at the moment, so I'll leave it at that, because I'm off on my little short break tonight, just going away for one night. So I won't be able to work on the bank holiday either. Not going to be able to cut this purple sprouting because I've got nowhere to put it. I might as well leave it on the plant. If it goes to seed, it goes to seed. I'm not bothered about that. It goes to flower rather. Anyway, that's it for the quick update now. I'll sign off for now, and I'll be back through the week and at weekend with another update for you. Bye for now.